I'm going to tell y'all a secret, and I don't think I've said this out loud in like 5 years, maybe 6 years at this point. The very first service that I ever offered as a solo founder or an entrepreneur was a resume writing service, and I charged $25. That's that's so embarrassing to think about now. $25. But during that time, when you're first starting a business, you're just excited to do something. You just want to get your name out there. You want to prove your worth to the people that you are, selling your service to, and you want to make sure that they are happy with whatever it is that you're doing. So at the time, before I started HR Compliance Partners, we'll get into all of that in a second, but that business, which was a career coaching business, led me into what I'm doing today. So at the very beginning of my entrepreneurship journey was knowing that I was really good at something and not really sure how to market myself to the people who needed help and support, which were job seekers at the time. This was at like the height of the pandemic, and there were so many people that were coming to me for help. They were asking for, because my background has been in HR for over 10 years. So people were coming to me for help around, what do I say in an interview? Or can you look at my resume? And I was like, you know what? So many people are asking, maybe I can turn this into something. So it started off as like a little side hustle, not anything that was, full time. And then they just kept coming, and then they were for their friends. And then I knew it was serious when people would send their mom, because you don't send your mom to any old person. So I was like, wait a minute, something's happening. So I wanted to make sure that when I went into this thing, I didn't get sidetracked with all the things that were happening with what people were, they were doing with, trending audio this and doing all of that there. So I say all that to say getting started is difficult. Like you gotta do what you gotta do. I knew that I was undercharging at that point, and I knew that I needed to do something about it. So we're going to sit down, we're going to talk about, just get to know the person behind the brand. Because, when you're scrolling online, you look at, business pages, and you're trying to see like who's the person. At least I do. I try to make sure, number one, if I'm going to spend my money somewhere, that I'm not going to get scammed by whoever it is that's doing this, especially with like the rise of AI and all the things that you can pretend to do and pretend to be a person. I think it's important that we sit down and chit chat. So this is a part of the Clocked Out series where we're going to basically talk business owner to business owner, founder to founder, and, just relax for a minute, get to know what's going on behind the scenes. So I thought the very first episode, which is episode 1 today, we could get to know me and like who I am and what I do and why I do it. So it's been a day. I've got a glass of wine because I've got a lot of work to do, but I promised that I want to get this video out, so let's get into it. I've got a few questions that I've prepared, just kind of chit chat about why I started, where I am now, and what the purpose of this part of the series is in general. Okay, so like I said, the very first service that I had was career coaching. So that was my first business model. It was called the Employee Handbook Career and Workforce Solutions. It was phenomenal. I really enjoyed meeting so many new people, hearing all of their stories. Everybody that I came across was super talented. But if you're not in HR, you don't really know what's behind the scenes. If you're not a recruiter in talent acquisition, you really don't know what people are looking for. So I had the pleasure of doing that for 5 years. I was doing that and kind of like working full time. It's an interesting story because I was doing full time work, then I went full time entrepreneur, and then I switched the business model. So my first question is, what made me decide to build my own thing instead of staying on the traditional career path? So overall, the pandemic kind of forced my hand. Like I was working as a corporate recruiter at the time, and we were doing the opposite of bringing people in. We were literally laying people off. And I didn't have anywhere to go. And so that forced me to go and figure things out. And so I took another job, but I didn't really like it. And I just decided, I was like, you know what, if I'm going to do this thing, because at the time I was doing both. I was career coaching before the like end of 2019, early part of 2020. And I was like, if this is going to do what it's going to do, I can just continue to do that until it takes the place of my full-time job. So that's what I did. And so when the pandemic happened, we were laying people off and my position got ripped. And I had my eyes on the prize of like, I want to do this full time. So I kept going and kept going. But as the years continued on, I saw something. And it really bothered me that a lot of the time, the responsibility for what was happening in the job market was on the job seeker. And people would come to me and we would have, heart to heart conversations around, Jasmine, what am I doing wrong? Why am I not getting selected or interviewed and I'm not getting chosen? Like, what's happening? What's going on? And these were some extremely talented people. And it came to a point where it was like, it doesn't matter how many times we rewrite this resume. It doesn't matter how many times we practice these interview questions. Sometimes it's just not you. It's not you at all. It's the job. It's the people behind the scenes that are making decisions who probably have no business making decisions at all. So fast forward to maybe 24. I don't know. All the years are getting mixed up. Anyway, it didn't feel right to continue to charge for a service that used to have a solid game plan. Like, it used to really make sense to look at somebody's resume and say, yep, this is the problem. Here's what you need to do, or here's your issue with interviewing, and walk them through a traditional process. Yes, this is what you say to a recruiter. No, this is not normal for a hiring manager to ask this. Yes, you shouldn't go. It's like all of those things, they started to untangle and not make as much sense as they used to. And AI came in and everybody's using AI to write the resume. It's like, if I was a job seeker or I didn't have a job at the time and didn't have any money to do this, I would just ask chat to help me with that. So I was like, you know what? I'm actually really tired of organizations blaming the people for their shortcomings. And so because I had an in on both sides, I was like, you know what? It's actually definitely not the people. It's the business practice that is happening behind the scenes. You have people who are untrained, who are making hiring decisions. You've got people who don't even look at the resume until the interview is happening. That is so disrespectful to me, to people who put time, energy, and pay career coaches like me at the time to get prepared for something that they are not also doing the same thing for. So that's what really made me get into the business side of things. I was like, you know what? It's only so much I could say at this point to the job seeker. It's now time for me to turn around and say it to the business. So my business HR compliance partners, which is what this channel is, HR in Real Life, and now we're kind of talking about the behind the scenes, is really built on. It's built on the idea that organizations, especially those who want to be an employee-friendly organization or organizations that care about the work that they're doing, I partner with them. I partner with the ones who recognize the deficiencies in their processes and want to do something about it. And I will say the turnaround that from where they were to where they are now as far as hiring is concerned, or just general practices on, manager training or any of those things, is 180 degrees. They absorb the information that I give them and they put it into practice. And now they get to do it over and over, and I get to see them grow. And we'll have conversations like, you know what, 6 months ago, we weren't here. You were second guessing this recommendation or advice that I gave you. And now look at you. You're thriving. So it's fun now. I really enjoy it. And I think my talents now are best served on the other side of that, because I help them see and find and still make those connections to job seekers who really need a place to land after being traumatized through this whole recruitment process, because it is a mess right now. It is really bad, and it's not fair. It's not fair, especially for people who are trying to find work. There's so many layoffs. There's a lot of things going on. But anyway, I'm gonna move on. We'll get into that more, but that's how I got started. I got started because I was tired of seeing it. Tired of seeing the people who are getting turned around and turned away for things that were beyond their control. So another question that I wrote myself: what's something you now know about running a business that you desperately wish you knew when you started? One thing that I wish that I knew about running a business that I didn't know when I first started is that my first idea, or like my first services, or, the thing that really, your signature package or whatever, that could change depending on what the people need. Your core services are your core services, but the way that you deliver it, when you deliver it, who needs it and who doesn't, your customers and your clients are going to tell you more than you're going to tell them. So being open to whatever that change looks like, and not being so rigid and saying, well, I want to offer this and I want to do that. If you think about entrepreneurship again, it is about being of service to other people who need your talents. And so you can't be so, hell bent on, I'm not going to do that, even if the people are saying that. A good bit of my services that I started out with came through talent acquisition strategy. But then people started to wonder about the compliance side of it and audits. And, what do we do about this? And a lot of it is manager coaching, which I love because people are wanting to learn. So I had to be fluid and be open to that, because if I wasn't, then people are going to go somewhere else, because my desires of what I want to do are never going to outweigh the needs of the people who are paying me to do it. And not to say that I'm driven by the dollar, because not every single dollar is a good dollar. But if I have the talent and it's within my reach and it's something that I enjoy doing, because again, this is all a choice, then sure, I'll do it. The next question is, what's one thing you refuse to do in your business? Oh, that's a good one. Like I didn't write it. One thing I refuse to do in my business is not deliver quality. And let me explain what I mean by that. It's so easy. It's so easy to take something and just send it off and not be worried about it. Or like, AI can do it. I'm gonna just let AI do it. No, I don't play that. People trust me to give them quality sound advice, and I am going to do that. I treat their business as if it's my own. So if somebody is trusting me to do something, I'm going to do it with excellence. I think that service delivery is very important. Customer service is very important. Keeping your word, especially according to your contracts, is very important. You have to make sure that that you're doing what you say you're going to do. So a really quick tip, early in the beginning of your services, or of your service, if you're a new founder or even just somebody who's really excited about doing something, it's important that you do not oversell and underdeliver. Don't promise the sun, moon, and the stars, and then they get there and all you got is a lighter. It's not going to fly. And your reputation is all you have, especially if you're a service delivery. All you have is your reputation and your word, because that's what gets you referrals. That's what people remember you by. You said this thing, they expected this thing, and then you deliver something different. That's not going to work. So in my business, I always put myself in their shoes. I continuously flip back and forth between, if I were them, what would I want? If I were expecting this service and I didn't know anything about this thing, how would I want somebody to handle me? Or how would I want somebody to handle a loved one? It's just really simple. If you say you're going to do something, just do it. What does clocked out actually look like for you? That's a good one too. Clocked out for me looks like this glass of wine, probably. Sometimes, I gotta lay off of that. But it looks like closing my laptop down, going to see what me and my husband are about to do for the evening. Are we about to go out to eat? Are we about to go out of town? Are we in for the night, watch a movie? Am I about to go to sleep? Honestly, sometimes I'm just tired. So I don't know. It just depends. Is it a quick little girls' night? It just depends on the mood. I don't really like to plan a lot. I used to be a planner when it comes to like the fun things, but now I just kind of like, what's the vibe for the day? And that's how I clock out. I just see what I feel like, and I just do that. So it could be hanging out with him, hanging out with the girls, or I might just be sitting on the couch watching a Netflix series that I'm deep into. Right now, I know I'm late to the game, but I've been watching, Walking Dead. I know I'm so late. I'm late. It's so good. It's so good. I'm on season 11. And I slowed down because I was like, I'm going too fast and I need to slow down. But it's so good. I don't know what took me so long. It takes me a minute to catch on the TV. So, but that's what I'm into right now. Let's see. This is fun. Okay, what have you had to learn about boundaries as a business owner? Oh, that people are going to treat you exactly the way you teach them how to treat you. If you show up meek and mild and timid, they're going to run all over you. I'm going to just tell you that right now. I'm already short, so I don't have time to be acting shy. I got to get straight to it, okay? So they're going to treat you the way that you see you. So if you see you as nothing, then that you might get that as a result. Okay, so it doesn't mean you got to come in big, bold, and pretending like you this boss. Just remember who you are and remember why you started what you're doing, because a lot of it has very much to do with your posture and your attitude and the way that you show up and the confidence that you have in what you're offering. You know why you're here. You know what you have to offer, and you know that what you have to offer is good. And if you don't feel like that, then practice until you do. Or ask yourself, why don't I feel this? And then think about how you can fill in those gaps. Maybe you don't feel confident because you're not 100% versed in this particular craft, or are not sure if this is the right price. Dig into that. That's part of being a founder, is asking yourself those questions to figure that out. So for me, that is what boundaries look like. I make sure that I teach people how to treat me. And if I don't like it, then I address it and we move on. Or I just show up and people adjust. They'll adjust accordingly. They will. What does running a business do to your brain after 5 p.m.? There is no time when you're a founder, really, or a business owner. I think that for me, it's a good thing because I'm always on. Like if I'm out and about, or even after 5, like I'm thinking about what can I be doing next, or and not like in I got to do this thing. You can't see it over here, but I have this little sticky note that says, you don't have to, you get to. And I love that for me, because this is a choice. Nobody made me do this. Nobody told me that I had to do it. This is something that I want to do, and I get to wake up and I get to choose who I work with, and I get to choose the services that I offer. This is such a blessing. And so I don't need to turn it off after 5. I enjoy the work that I do. So if I'm thinking of something, I'll hop up. I've got sticky notes in my nightstand. I have my little note section in my phone, or I'll send myself a little voice recording and be like, okay, remember to do this tomorrow, or, add that to a service list, or check this out, or call these people. Like, I'm excited about the work that I do. So there is no after 5. It's just a continuously running thing, unless I'm out of town. Then it absolutely turns off, because I'm not going to be on the beach thinking about work. I don't care how much I love it. What's something you're currently figuring out in your own business? Right now, I'm in a stage of growth, and I'm trying to figure out what kind of help I need. I have revamped a few of the services that I'm offering, and I'm trying to figure out where support is going to lend itself most productive for me. I don't know if it's on the internal side of things, like the back office work, or if it's on supporting some service delivery. So I'm just trying to figure that out. I don't want to waste time or misrepresent what I need and then run out of work to do, because I really do value, again, employees and contractors that I connect with. So I want to make sure that what I'm doing actually has some value. So some fun questions. What is something people would be surprised to learn about you? Okay, so number one, I'm the complete opposite of my profession. So HR is what is HR. In a lot of ways, people just find it to be like the fun police. That's not me. I'm a good fun time. Okay, I love to laugh. I love to have a good time. Genres of like entertainment, I love. Like if I go into the movies, action. I need explosions. I need fire. I need fights. I need to see within the first 5 minutes. I need to see something blowing up immediately. Okay, I need that. All the Marvel movies, every single thing that has action in it, that's me. Suspense, true crime, all the things. A Law and Order, SVU, anything on Netflix that have like a suspense, or anything like, be Netflix, but any kind of TV that has like suspense or some kind of element of like figuring it out. Give me that. Give me all of that. I need that. Also, I love games, like video games. Not like sports. I won't say I love video games. I like GTA. I'm a GTA fanatic. It took them forever and a day to come out with the latest one. But when that comes out, that's where I will be. I use GTA as a decompression tool. Like I literally will sit and play that, the latest version now, while I'm waiting for the new one to come out. But I would play that for hours if you let me. It is, I don't know. I just love it. I love video games. I love explosions, all the things, action. I don't want to see no boring. I don't like comedy. I don't do like romance. I don't care about none of that. Give me the war. That's what I need. I need that. What else? What's the next one? Current obsession outside of work. Let's see. Home decor. I guess that's my current thing right now. I have so many interests. It's the latest one is home decor. We're probably gonna start doing some like things around the house. Like right now, it's very neutral, very, very 20 whatever beige. It's a very beige home, and I want to bring back the personality. Like back when your grandma and everybody had a different personality in her home. That's what I want. So that my current obsession right now, outside of work, is home decor and just making the home a beautiful space. And then lastly, again, I think this whole point of this series is just to talk. We don't really have a lot of space to just exist as founders and as business owners. And clearly I have a lot to say outside of just doing regular work things. But my last question that I wrote to myself to answer, to share with you all, is what do you hope people get from spending time with you after hours? I hope that you feel a sense of community, and I hope that you feel that you are not alone. What I found in this space, connecting with other small business owners or just service providers, is that there is a pocket of loneliness that kind of just exists inside of your reality, where if you don't have anybody working alongside of you who understands the rejection of not closing the deal, or the excitement of closing one, or the pressure that it feels to continue to keep doing this work, but also the commitment that you feel that you need to keep going, to give it your all, because there is something special about what you have to offer. There is a very small pocket of people who understand that, and I think it's important that we stick together. So the whole purpose of this is just to kind of talk about that together as a group. So the rest of these episodes is to talk about the things that happen in the business that we want to brainstorm as a group. If you have any ideas, or if you want to talk about anything in particular, drop it in the comments below. I just want to make sure that we stay connected and that we have somewhere to exist and land as a group. So that's me. I've got a whole lot more, but if y'all let me keep going, we'll be here till tomorrow. So I'm gonna cut it off here, but every Friday you'll see me, or at least I'll try every Friday to drop something new. So if you have any ideas, put them in there and we will keep this thing going. This is Jasmine with HR Compliance Partners, and we are clocked out.